one of the things that I talk to parents about is that I talk to them about the fact that you're born into this kind of cult mentality. We were born into, well, this is just what everybody does in school. Right. And so to look outside of that, it's that whole concept of birds, born in a cage, think flying is an illness sort of thing. So you see these people flying in freedom, but it's like, oh, there's something wrong with them. Right. But what should education be for? What should education really be for? Well, it should be for that freedom. It should be to understand how I pick up the pen and how I write the story of my life. And I write myself as the giving, valiant, charitable, character-driven, purpose-driven hero. And then I bring my kids up in that exact same sort, like that's what it should be for. But we don't stop to ask the question, what should education be for? We just assume that school and education are the same. And they're not. And you also said, when you speak out against it, people think you're speaking out against kids. And that's so far from the truth. And people also think if you speak out against the system, that you're speaking out against teachers. And I always want to make that clear. I was a public school teacher. I still have so many dear friends that are teachers and administrators, and I love them. I support them. We need great humans in that system still, but it doesn't mean we have to support the system itself. And so I always want to, make that clear.
What was the thing that you started?
So started a K through 12, which we've now started almost 300 campuses around the globe.
Wow.
We're in 40 some odd states, 20 some odd countries. So I started a K through 12 underneath the Acton Academy umbrella. And we started a K through 12 campus that, I can't say that it was a private school because it's not. It was a center for education. It was a center for education where young people were coming and they were taking on massive amounts of responsibility. They're learning to set their own trajectory in terms of academics. They're self-led, learner-led in that way. You walk into the kitchen and you find a chef who's there cooking real food every day, and he's in high school, and he's hired middle school students to work for him as a sous chef. We've got young heroes that are making six figures while they're still in high school with the businesses that they are running. They are running, they're working internships and apprenticeships in fields that they're interested in. It is real life at hyper speed. It's all transferable. And those are the kind of schools we're started.
What is, I'm not a parent, but I would imagine if I were a parent and I had a school-aged child, I would imagine this kind of school would be in pretty high demand for people who want the best education for their kids. Are you finding that that the demand is greater than the capacity of the schools? Or are there barriers to entry? Or what does this look like for a parent who's listening and watching, saying like, oh my gosh, how do we get involved?
It's a good question. So there are barriers to entry. We do a massive filtering system at every campus because we want to have the conversation, because people hear these stories, they hear the outcomes.
Sure.
They don't want the process that leads to the outcome, right?
They just want the gift. They just want the fancy thing all wrapped up at the end saying, here you go, mom and dad, good job.
Exactly, right? I want the six-pack abs. I don't want the work that comes into it with the workouts and having to put the right stuff in my mouth and keep this other stuff out. Like, that sucks. Where's the pill?
Right.
They want the pill. So the reason that the demand isn't through the roof is because they don't want the pill of, we don't really care about academics. They get it. There are academics involved there, but we don't really push it at all from an adult standpoint. And we don't really even try to touch it until they're maybe in middle school. Because, hey, by the way, they'll go through an entire K through 12 curriculum from an academic standpoint in 3 years when they're ready.
Yeah.
Without a teacher.
Totally.
But parents are so scared of that.
Yeah.
Because their child might be 7, not touching a bunch of academics, and another 7-year-old, the parents are like, ooh, he's got his ABCs and he's starting to do multiplication, and the parents freak out. They don't want the actual developmental process that produces a better outcome because of one little step in the middle that they think, well, learning's not happening. Well, no, actually, that young person's starting a business. They're making the rules of engagement for Socratic conversations. They're holding each other accountable. They're actually responsible for cleaning their own studios. They're responsible for teaching other people. They're massively responsible. They're learning at a ridiculously high level. They're just not doing that. And therein lies the disconnect. I use the example of training elephants, and I don't know if you've seen, but how they train elephants is, they take the young elephant, right, and you tie the rope around the leg and you tie them to the stake, and so they can't physically pull away at that point, and they want to, because their nature is freedom. They want to break away. They're like, this is not okay. I should not be tied to this one location, and they'll fight and they'll fight and they'll fight, and eventually they'll give up because they realize they can't do it, right? But the real travesty is later on in life, you can take that full-grown, magnificent beast and you put that tiny little rope back around its leg and you tie it to the post. That elephant will just acquiesce right from the get-go. I just can't leave. Apparently, this is where I'm stuck.
Wow.
And that is what we have done to our adults now, too. They have these metaphorical ropes tied around, their legs, and they don't believe they can achieve anything more. And the travesty is they then have their own kids and they go, come here, let me tie this rope around your leg for you. We've been convinced to do it to our own kids till we send them right back into the same things that we've always done, right? We send them right back into this schooling system that left us feeling inadequate, and in terms of being able to educate our own kids. So we send them right back into that same system that left us feeling inadequate.
Yeah.
Isn't that ridiculous?
It's painful.
We just perpetuate the cycle. And again, that's where that, when I say that's that cult mentality. So we're trying to break people. And I would just want people to understand there's options, because people really don't know, like your friend with the macaroni salad, right? People really don't know that you don't have to go to school. Like, you don't have to go to school. You have to be educated.
Right.
But you don't have to go to school.
Right.
You can home educate, and it's actually not that difficult. But by the way, it does mean, mom and dad, you're going to need to lead by example. You're going to need to, the best way to perpetuate their education is for you to continue to grow your own, right? So you're going to have to do some work there, but you're going to lead by example, because they're going to do what you do before they do what you say anyways.
That's true.
So you might as well do the right thing. Right. So you don't have to do it. You can home educate, or there's options like these schools. You can go to these schools here, or there's homeschool hybrid co-ops,
right? Or
you can connect with, other people. Like, there's a million different ways to do it. There's a million different ways. We've got families that use our outline for the Young Men's Mentorship Program that Tim and I developed. That is their primary home education thing, is they go through that. And these young guys are going through real educational experiences. And then we're like, okay, and if you have more time and you want to sprinkle in, some Khan Academy and some academia over here, then great, sprinkle that in. But let's focus here on your education. And they're taking on, these massive projects and challenges and meeting with mentors. They're meeting with the best of the best of the best in the world every single week. They're getting literal input from movie stars and military generals and billionaire CEOs. And I mean, quite literally the best men on the planet. And the number one reason parents don't sign up when they find out about it? School, though. It gets school gets in the way. It's like, man, we got to break people out and show them there's so many options.